Hello boys and girls, sorry it's been a while. Things have got pretty crazy in the landscaping industry, but what I want to do is a little update. This is going to be the first of a few updates on some of the products that you guys have been asking for part twos of, to see how they sort of lasted going forward. And I'm going to start with the ones that annoyed me the most, believe it or not, which is the DeWalt Pro Lite boots. Look at the state of those. Let's have a chat. So basically, these really annoyed me because they weren't cheap, and some cheaper brands, had you spent more money on them, would have provided a better boot. I've now switched to the Stanley Fat Max ones. A lot of the materials are molded, which is normally a sign of cheapness, but actually for the sort of work we do, that's much better. The Pro Lights were a real letdown because yes, we are really hard grafters, uh, and they did get put through their paces, but not any more than your builder, your other landscapers. I'm sure they work just as hard as us. I'm not saying that these were heavily used, but they weren't abused. And look, just look at the state of that. All of the stitching broke away. Now, someone when I first did the video promoting them, because they were so comfortable and very light, and they use like a carbon fiber toe caps, not steel, so it makes them like I believe. Had a similar issue. They said that the stitching all broke away and they started leaking water. So I was a bit, we'll wait and see. And they were absolutely right. I'll see if I can sort of tag them in on this video somehow. But basically, the stitching of the leather just broke away. They just did not use strong enough stitching, and there was nothing's hit these or brushed them. It's just through standard wear and tear. And you can see there that the sort of sides of them have become crinkled. But literally every stitch on the boot has come loose, and there is the boot lining. So it's not like it's waterproofed anymore. Water gets in there and your feet are soaked. They were totally useless in the end, and I regretted buying them. These were about £60, which aren't expensive for boots. They go up to 200 quid or more, I'm sure you could find. But they were for our sort of work. They were a little bit more than you need to spend. You can get a decent pair of boots for 30 quid. They should last you a year. And typically I'll buy everybody a set of boots when mine go. Well, these went too early, so now we're all at different stages. As I said, I've now gone for the Stanley Fat Max ones. I haven't got them here. But they've already done 6 months, and there's a tiny, tiny little bit of stitching that's sort of opened up. And I think that's just because I've got funny shaped feet, and it's sort of, maybe I've got quite wide feet and it's pushed in that area. But none of the rest of them are broken, like the plastic joint where like this sort of thing, where it joins to the boot, that's all sealed nicely. It still doesn't let any water in, but I was heavily recommending these when I first bought them, and luckily I don't think many people went and purchased them off the back of that, because these have turned out to be rubbish. So it's a total thumbs down from me. Avoid. What I have just noticed though is I've got I had to replace the laces 3 times on this, because where the hook is not smooth, and you get it on a lot of boots actually, it's not the first time I've seen it, when you pull them tight it rubs against the same part of the lace each time, and eventually the outer sort of casing of the lace breaks and you're just left with a cord, and then after a while that snaps. So you find yourself replacing laces. On these I replaced it 3 times, but I've just realised I was going to throw these in the bin. I thought I'd do an update obviously before doing that, but they've got fairly new laces, and the laces on my Stanley Fat Max ones have broke as well, because as I said, it's quite a common thing when you tighten them up. So I'm going to pinch the laces off these and use them on my Stanleys. So something good did come of them, I suppose. Yeah, so there you go. Avoid the Pro Lights. I don't even think they do them anymore, but if you could go to a dealer and they still have some, they're nice if you're not doing strenuous work. Maybe like an electrician or whatever would be ideal, but when you're trudging through mud and you're digging and you're really putting bend on them and you're climbing and all sorts, these aren't the one, guys. Don't do it. I'll be back shortly with another video. I might try and upload them all together. We're going to cover the DeWalt mower, the DeWalt strimmer, and although I didn't review it, the DeWalt leaf blower, to just talk about those. See you soon.